to a new video, and actually the first one that's going up on this channel, as I've deleted all the previous content. So if you're still here and an old subscriber, then hello, thank you, hi, it's us. We really hope to bring you some more content, some more video. I really want to get into video more and more, so I'm really excited to get cracking on that. Today I thought I would do a bit more of a chatty one. Hello, and thank you so much for subscribing. Your support always means so much to me as a content creator, and just, yeah, I like sharing, so I'm glad that you want to see. So I thought I'd start with a chatty one. In the future I'm hopefully going to do like a trailer, make it all pretty, make it all great, but for now I am in my slobs. I'm in leggings, I'm in my Think Goose hoodie, which is the best thing and so comfy. I wear it way too much, in my slippers and just on my bed, but this is quite a kind of chatty personal one. I did actually just film it, and I filmed it portrait because my head is in Instagram all the time, and I was like, okay, this is okay, focus isn't great, but let's do it. And yeah, it was portrait, so I can use that for YouTube. Anyway, so today I'm going to be talking about kind of shared custody of pets, because that is something that I am I'm involved with, have to deal with. So yeah, I just thought it would be a really good kind of first chatty topic, and as the UK is in lockdown, we're not going many places, we're not doing a lot, so a chatty one was a good place to start. So myself and my almost ex-husband have two dogs, Sev and Lily. They are on Instagram at StephandTheSpaniels if you don't know us. If you have come from there, hi. But yeah, so we have two spaniels that we've had from puppies, from little babies. They are very much our dogs, and obviously going through a separation and divorce whilst having dogs is quite scary, horrible, and people do like lose their pets to the other partner and horrible things happen, and I just wanted to tell you kind of our story and the situation that we're in with having joint custody and sharing Sev and Lily. It works really well for us personally, so I think it's definitely something to think about, but there are obviously certain things to think about if you're going to do this, if sadly you have gone through a breakup, or not sadly, but yeah, if you're going through this situation. So for us personally, it was a big thing not to split Sev and Lily up. That wasn't going to happen. We wanted to keep them together. It just wasn't a situation that we saw it in, and I think it was just a really natural thing that Sam still wanted to see the dogs. Obviously I did, they're my babies, so we are sharing them. I have seen this happen in different ways, kind of randomly on Instagram and stuff from people that I've kind of followed, but obviously it happens in different ways, different times, different dogs, etc, etc, but this is how we work it. For us personally, we work it round our work and our jobs, mainly Sam's. He gets them about a third of the month and I get them about 2/3 roughly. I don't know if it is quite that, but roughly. And because I can take them to work, because Robin lives with me here, I'm home a lot of the time during the day, then really it doesn't affect me too much. So really, basically when Sam is off work, then he has the dogs, which is absolutely fine because it works for me. Maybe in the future we will look at having them longer periods of time, but it works for us fitting in with not having to get extra kind of dog care, so that's really important, not to kind of add another factor in. And also, yeah, it means that because I only don't have them for kind of 2, 3, 4, I think up to 5 days sometimes at a time, then I don't miss them too much. It's okay, it's just having kind of a nice little break really. It's probably quite an unpopular opinion, and I worry that I'm going to get judged a lot when I talk about it on Instagram, but I do try and kind of normalise it and talk about it as much as I do, kind of just normalise it on a few different posts and stories. I mention it without going into too much detail, I guess. But yeah, I would hate to be with, oh, I'd never give my dog away, I'd never do that. But honestly, for me, for Sam not seeing the dogs or not wanting to see the dogs, that would have actually hurt me more, and I'm really glad that he still does. And like, he's a great dog dad. There's no reason not to, so for us this just really works. In the future, if we move away, like further apart, then maybe we'll have to think about having them on longer scales. But like I say, it means I don't miss them, and it just works around our kind of schedules really well at the moment. So for us, it's good. Obviously then you do have to take into account seeing each other, or if you can kind of do it with a parent or friend or whatever, kind of cross them over, but otherwise you are seeing each other a lot. And I guess that's something to think about, because it can be quite emotional, I guess, or just if you're just going through a breakup, seeing that person isn't the most comfortable thing to do. So these are just things to think about. Obviously the dog's welfare and happiness was a really big thing when we were looking into doing this, and thankfully Sev and Lily have taken to it really, really well. They are used to travelling, to being in certain places. They are used to being at my parents' house, which when it first happened we were based there, so that was really good. And they have just taken to it really well. They're excited when they see either one of us again after the few days, which is really nice, and they just settle into each place quite well. They do have a routine, in like a different routine in each place, which you can definitely tell. Like, I know Sam takes them out like straight in the morning before they have breakfast, so they're kind of always keen to have a morning walk with me, but I put them into place quite quickly that is not going to happen and we're going to go back to bed. But that's actually quite a beneficial thing for me, because Sevi really kind of clings to routine, so much to a bad extent, so he kind of demands dinner and stuff. So to change up the routine in a soft way, if you like, I don't think is a bad thing at all. But things like their food, they eat butternut at both our houses, and whatever diet or food they ever go on through their life, we will make sure that that's the same. And that if there's a certain problem or a certain thing, be health or like a problem in that way, then we obviously talk to each other and we're communicating enough to make sure that that's clear and on the same page, and they will get the same care. And also things like training and things like that. Obviously it can be difficult because we're in different kind of home setups, but where possible, if we're working on something here, so if me and Robin are working on something with the dogs, then I do try and pass it over to Sam to try and just let him know, and for us to do at least similar things to give it a go. Otherwise we don't want to go backwards in things like that.
Who's back? Back again. Sevi's back. Tell a friend.
So there's just a few more things if you are going to share your mutt with someone else, an ex-partner, or whatever it be, share them between you. I think it's really important to make sure that you know who is aware, or put costs to the other person about things like flea treatment or vaccinations, who's going to do that. If you now live in kind of different areas, who is kind of responsible, what vet are you kind of under. I'm a veterinary nurse, so Sev and Lily always come to my vets. However, Sam is aware of if there's emergency needed, vets around him, or depending on what it is, if he can get to my vets. So it's just like things like this to consider and just be knowledgeable of. Really good as well, obviously, I say that because Sam and I have them kind of a few days at a time between us, that we know what days those are. Sam has given me kind of a calendar diary thing, if you like, so he tells me when they go over to him and when here, get them back. So that's really helpful. Maybe less needed if you are doing kind of big blocks at a time, but if you are thinking about it, you don't want that kind of constant communication, or even though you don't think it's a stress, like the little stresses of when are we getting them back, what are we doing, it's all on that piece of paper and then anyone can see or look at it. And obviously a big thing, I have gone into how Sev and Lily are with this situation, but really kind of keeping your eye on that all the time. Sev and Lily have gone through quite a few households in the last 2 years because of our situations, and they've just handled it really well. But there is always going to be a case of, is this because we've just moved? What is this? And just working out them being happy and making sure they are. Their house here is a really great base for them, and they are here the majority of the time, so it's nice. But they have everything they need at Sam's, so it's not like it's a second home, or it's not like it's like a lesser home. It is their home there too. The things we really share are the dog's leads, because we have to give them over when we swap over, so we found having the leads the same are great, but there are things that maybe you can think about if your dog isn't used to it or isn't doing very well. A smell on a blanket maybe that they have for either, or obviously if it's things like harnesses or other things maybe they walk on, we know that they do well on harnesses, then the other person get that harness, or you share it and you decide kind of what you're sharing, what's going with what, but you really need to make sure both homes are quite equal in it being their home and actually being a home for the dogs, and not just, oh yeah, my dog comes to this house. So I think that is all I wanted to talk about. If you've got any specific questions, then please leave them below. I would really appreciate your subscriptions if you fancy subscribing, wherever that button is. I would really appreciate that. And just, yeah, maybe share this with your friends. If people are going through breakups that have pets, then please do share it. I want to kind of normalise it more, and I guess just selfishly for myself, not be judged or know why it's being done. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.